Curious about what you have to look forward to this week? Well, come on in and let's chat about it. Hello, Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive. Welcome to another weekly Oracle reading for the week of April 5th. Happy April and happy Easter to all of you. Hoping everybody is doing very well and that the weather is suiting you and you're enjoying spring and embracing all that is. All right, let's call in all our archangels, ascended masters, highest guides, creature teachers, light beings, elementals, loved ones in spirit. Come on into this space to give us the clarity and guidance that we need to really understand where we are in the universe right now and where we are going in terms of our goals. Yeah, let's make that a good intention this week. Okay, oh, by the way, stay tuned for some exciting information at the end of the video, and please feel free to like, subscribe, and click the bell on my YouTube channel if you like what you see here for fun stuff. Okay, so I'm using Ciro Marchetti's Tarot of Dreams. I love it. We have Hanging Man. Hanging Man is all about letting go, knowing sacrifice, surrendering to what is. And I'm really feeling strongly that this week, a lot of the themes in each of our lives is going to be really based on what is it that we need to let go of in order to be able to move forward in a more healthy and productive way. I'm going to say that again. Healthy and productive. I'm definitely feeling that, when you hear the word productive, you're thinking work. I'm feeling like this is actually connected to our personal lives. What do you need to let go of to be healthy and productive? I'm feeling that there's a real urging, calling, push, draw this week to really get into the nitty-gritty, to do kind of a deep dive and to recognize that, okay, things might not be working running like a well-oiled machine. Things may not be working exactly the way I originally intended them to work for me. So how can I kind of separate the wheat from the chaff? What can I let go of? And release fully in order to be able to step more fully into my own freedom. I'm also wanting to talk about surrender. This comes up for a lot of clients on the regular, and I understand this concept very well as well because I'm such a control freak. The idea of surrendering is a real challenge. Letting go and understanding that, hey, I'm in limbo. I have done all that I can possibly do. I have turned myself into a pretzel 7,000 ways, and here we are. And I still am no further, or I'm still no closer to my goal, my perceived goal. Or I've done all that I can do and nothing is changing. And now it is up to either another person, place, or thing to occur in order for movement to happen. So when you get into that space, it's kind of like, okay, universe, I have to surrender. I have to say, can't do anything more. And so now, do I want to just kind of stop and smell the roses? Do I want to resent the fact that I'm in limbo? Do I want to, sit there and cross my arms and pout and stomp my foot because things aren't moving in the way that I think they should be? Or do I say, you know what? I've done all that there is, and maybe there's something more going on that I'm not aware of that needs to shift or needs to be presented or needs to be able to blossom and grow in order for me to be able to move forward into the next step. So I encourage each and every one of you this week to recognize that there is a certain level of limbo. Where do you feel that you're in limbo in your life? And you have a choice. Do I embrace the limbo, recognizing that, hey, maybe it's an opportunity to just kind of breathe and relax. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to check things off the list. That I recognize that maybe I have to wait a month, a week, a day, an hour until something else breaks, something else flows, opens up for me to be able to take the next steps. Maybe it's I need to just stop and tune in to be able to listen to the intuition that is coming through, so that is how I'm going to be guided to my next step. And if I'm running around like a chicken all the time and I'm not letting go of control, I'm not letting go of this concept or this idea of what I think things are supposed to be, I'm stopping myself from allowing what really needs to come to light, what needs to be born and birthed and breathed new life into. Maybe I'm stopping that because I've got a narrower version of what's going on. So embrace the concepts of letting go and surrender. Where can you embrace limbo in your life, recognizing that it doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing? And consequently, sometimes limbo does feel icky and sticky. I know with me, I go big or go home. When I have an idea about something in my head and I want to get there, I'm on it. I'm a dog with a bone. And sometimes the universe is like, yeah, you can be a dog with the bone all you want. The longer you struggle, the longer it's going to take for you to release this and step into the next level. The next level of awareness and layer of understanding. The longer you're going to have to wait for us, the universe, your dream team, to be able to bring you what it is that we have for you on the other side of this limbo. So consider that this week. Very interesting. I love this card and I hate this card all at the same time. It's a love-hate relationship. Okay. For our oracle reading this week, we are using Colette Reid's Shaman's Dream. It's actually Colette Reid and Alberto Villoldo. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's brand new, hot off the press. It just arrived last week for me and I've really been enjoying it. So let's see what the message is here. Oh, I love it. Gathering around the power of community. And so what I'm really hearing this week is when we are in this process of letting go and understanding that we are kind of in limbo and we have to surrender to what is, there's no point in pushing through it. Take the time, when I mentioned, stop and smell the roses. Take advantage of that opportunity to chill, to be in that moment, to, have fanciful thoughts and gather community. So we are all in a space right now where we are starting to open up. We are starting to, I hesitate to say post-COVID because we're still in COVID and we don't really know, where it's sort of taking us, but I feel like we are over the initial hump, I guess, of it. And now with vaccines coming out and the world is kind of opening up a little bit again, just a little bit. And we do need to be cautious about how we open up. But it is about gatherings again. It's about community and connecting with others. And I'm feeling like the limbo that we're feeling and we're receiving right now is an opportunity for us to take a little more time to connect. And it's connecting in person where applicable. It's connecting from my heart to your heart when we are having a conversation. It's putting the phone down and being present. It's putting the technology away and being present. Having conversation. And maybe it's idle conversation. Maybe it's conversation that means nothing. Maybe it's just stupid, ridiculous belly laughing. Maybe it's conversation that gives you some food for thought. It doesn't have to be focused or purposeful conversation other than to just feel connected. And we do this in a community setting. Community can be the larger community. It can be, the global community that you want to connect with. It can be your community, your city that you're living in. It can be your, beliefs community. Or it can be the inner circle. So whatever you deem committee to be, step into that this week. And I feel like I'm hearing the alternate message here about listen. Listen when you are in the power of community. Listen to people that you're interacting with. Because I feel that there is power in the listening. That when you are surrendering to what is and saying, okay, there's not much I can do about it, so let's make the best of it. And I'm going to listen to what other people have to say, have to offer, what is on their hearts. I feel like magic is going to happen. And if you notice, this card is very green in the background with some yellow fun stuff in here. I don't know, this looks like mushrooms. And a little fairy here. Green, healing. I feel that healing is going to be taking place. It's sort of a foundational week for healing. So don't resist when you can't go any further. It doesn't mean that everything is going to fall apart. And maybe you'll find that you're feeling a little uncomfortable with not having something to do. I know I've been kind of struggling with that myself. I'm feeling a little stir crazy, wanting some more activity. I'm feeling bored doing what I'm doing. And yet the message that's coming through here really clearly is, yes, connect. Get rid of some of that boredom, but don't connect for the sake of feeling like you have to do something. I feel like the message really is around being present and listening. There are things that you're going to hear this week that are important. And I feel like important to you directly. And it's going to come from the most unexpected of places. All right, feather from the feather jar this week. Sing your story. So it's interesting that it's on this bright red feather. I keep hearing passions, exploring your passions. And when we're talking about singing your story, all of us have a very unique story around COVID. You know, we're going to be talking about this for decades afterwards. You know, where were you when COVID hit? How old were you when COVID hit? How did you survive COVID? There are going to be so many different stories. What is your story? I want to say sing it. I feel like the reason why we're singing it, it's interesting that I picked up on the message around listening. When you sing or when someone is singing, we listen to music, right? We listen to the singer. We listen to the words. We feel the energy that is being shared through that, but we are listening to it in order to really fully experience it and embrace it. So I feel like this week, there's an opportunity to reflect because you're in this limbo period. There is an opportunity to reflect with your community on your COVID story. What have you learned? How have you prospered? How have you felt like you've been held back? How have you felt like you've been in limbo? And sing the story, speak it, or listen to other people's stories. And in it, you will hear little snippets that are going to be, I want to say, commonalities that are going to assist you in this review. And I feel ultimately it's going to help you to be a little more open with your passions and getting a little more of a directed focus that is coming in the next couple of weeks. There's going to be an opening of our passions, a more creative flow. You may already be feeling it. So sing your story this week by listening to other stories. Maybe you're going to be sharing your story. How do you want that story to come across? Do you want to be a victim of COVID, or do you want to be an empowerer? Not necessarily of COVID, but sharing how COVID maybe changed some things in your life for the better. So community, sharing this information, listening to your community, and sharing connections with community. That's what I got for you this week, folks. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you like what you see here, like I said, feel free to like, subscribe, and click the bell on my YouTube channel. I also have my Facebook page, The Black Feather Intuitive. All sorts of fun, interesting goodies on there. I do a show called Winged Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every single Wednesday, and I answer 3 different free questions on there. If you would like to come and join us, we would love to have you. One more quick little blurb. I'd like to talk about my Archangel Conversations workshop. I've been doing one for every month so far, and they are a huge hit. Last month we did Archangel Orion, and he shared with us all about manifestation and how to manifest our heart's desires. And this month it's about blooming. It's about expanding your horizons and really stepping into this new version of self that you are emerging from. And we are going to be learning all about Archangel Gabriel through this. And some of you say Gabriel, so tomato, where that's concerned. Would love to have you join there. It's April 17th from 1 to 2:30 Eastern Standard Time. It's an afternoon workshop, and if you can't make it because you're busy, no worries. You can still participate. The recording of it will be sent out on the same day, so you'll be able to enjoy that. Thanks so much, guys, for tuning in. Sending you so much love, and take care. We'll see you next week. Bye.